Well, hello guys, and today I'm going to actually record for you what I posted for your activities that you're going to have to do for Monday, April 6th and April 7th. It's a to-do list. You can also call it a playlist because it's basically broken down into sections. So it's similar to what we do during our regular normal school day, but this time, obviously, we're distance learning. So what you're going to do is you're going to go section by section by section, all the way down till you finish and you get to the bottom of the to-do task list or playlist. You can call it either or. When you actually go into your sixth grade, or if you're in seventh grade, or if you're in eighth grade Google Classroom, it's going to be the assignment that you see right here. So let's use sixth grade as an example because all of the grade levels already have the same to-do list task there. It says Marisela Burns posted a new assignment to-do list for April 6th and 7th. You go ahead and you click on that. And when you click on it, it looks different on my end. But when you click on it, you click on the assignment. It says all the people that will be turning in their stuff to me, this is how I see it. So when you turn it in, it'll tell me who turns in your assignment. All right, if I want to go ahead and click on the assignment, once I get in, this is what you're going to see. It's going to say Unit 6 Learning Experience 1, Day 1 and Day 2, because it's going to stretch out Monday and Tuesday from April 6th to the 7th, and it has to be done by the 7th before midnight. All right, so we'll go down the list. It says to-do list. Children are likely to live up to what you believe of them, Lady Bird Johnson. We definitely believe in you, and we believe that you will accomplish all of the tasks that are here in your homework assignment. I believe in you guys, and I definitely want that to be done. You have 2 days to do it, so go ahead and get started as soon as you understand your deliverables. So your learning target is, everybody can read it with me, I can analyze informational text by zooming into the contrasts and contradictions signposts. So you're going to learn a little bit more about signposts. Make sure to look at the directions, and it basically says how to look at this to-do list in the way that I told you in the beginning of the video. So I'll go ahead and read it with you. Read the directions. Complete each section of the work below. Make sure to take notes of each section / row, similar, same thing, similar, or same thing, and label each section of your work by its title. So for example here, the title of this section, i.e. row, is due now. So when you're actually writing your notes or whatever assignment it tells you to do in that section, you're going to label it due now. So when you label it, you can go ahead and put the little quotation marks on your Google Doc. Your Google Doc can be either a new Google Doc, or you can actually just add it to this one because everybody has their own Google Doc. Now, what I mean by that is as you're working through the playlist, the to-do task list, you can actually start writing due now on here. Don't forget to write your name, of course, in the way that I've taught you. So you would write, if you're in sixth grade, you would write sixth grade, ELAR, ESL, and then you'd go all over here. You'd write your name. So if I was a student, I would write Marisela Burns. And then all the way to this side, what I would do next is I would write the actual teacher. So in this class, it's Dr. M. Burns, ED, and then you write the date. So you're going to start working on this April 6th. So you'd write April 6th, 2020. And then you would write Monday, all right? But since you have 2 days, you can write April 6th, 2020, Monday. And you can write the 7th if you want to as well, or just leave it like that. That's fine. All All right, so whatever it tells you to do, whatever it tells you to do in the do now, in that section, you're going to place down below. So that way you have your directions in the same area. And then I will be able to see anytime that you're inside of the Google Doc because it tells me the history. So for do now, it says review and recreate this chart in your journal or digitally on your iPad with Markup, Doceri, or another digital app that you like. So I recommend that you guys download Markup, Doceri, and recreate the chart that's here. This chart tells you about signposts. So it says nonfiction signposts, quoted words. Why did the author quote this person or source? That's what quoted words means. For word gaps, the definition of word gaps is, or the notes that I need for word gaps is, do I recognize this word from somewhere else? Another bullet right here, is this technical language only used by experts? The next bullet, do context clues help me understand or should I look it up? The next important thing to know about nonfiction signposts is numbers and statistics. And the note for number and statistics, or here it's actually a question, is why did the author include these numbers and amounts? The next important thing to know about nonfiction signposts is extremes and absolutes. The question that you would ask yourself is why did the author include so much emphasis here? And the last thing you need to know about signposts is contrast and contradiction. What is the difference and why does it matter? So basically signposts are metacognitive ways to stop in your track when you're reading. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different things that you need to know and the things that you need to ask yourself within those signposts. So when you're reading, you need to stop in your track and think about these 5 things and ask yourself these questions. So I need you guys to recreate this using Doceri and Markup. Once you recreate it, you can take a picture of it and then insert that picture right here. Because you're supposed to do signposts, right? So then you would put your picture here, insert picture here of the signpost that you did, as far as copying it in the format that it looks like up here, but you could be more creative than this chart, anchor chart that we have here, but basically with the same information. That's a good way to remember signposts, and you'll have it here in your Google Doc. All right, next you have study these. We're still on the same row, by the way. We're still on the same section. So the next thing we have to do, as you can see, here's another bullet, is study these slides to review. And it's a hyperlink. So you click on it. And once you click on it, you'll see that the whole entire mini lesson comes out. So this mini lesson is going to teach you more in depth about signposts. Make sure you copy each little section slide, right? Where would I copy this? Well, you'd copy it going back to what we were talking about. You would copy it here. Down below. Am I still in the same section? Once you insert the picture, you can move down here and let me undo that. Put that back there. You would actually go and put it there because we're still in the same section. We're still in the do now section. You see that? That's still something that you have to do in the do now section. So basically, I'm going to have to copy this mini lesson, signpost, or review. So I'm going to type it, not just copy and paste, because if you do that, what happens? You're going to basically not get credit. So what I would recommend you do is you insert a picture of your notes. So basically you're going to take a picture in your notebook, write everything down in your notebook, and then take a picture of it and insert the picture here. This is going to be inserting the picture of all of these notes. So basically write all these notes, write this slide, write the next slide, write the next slide, write the next slide, write the last slide in your notebook. Take a picture of your notes from your notebook and insert the picture here, right? So you have the first task, which you inserted a picture of your signpost that you did in Doceri. You could even use Adobe Spark if you want to. And then you have your next one where you're going to insert the picture, and that's going to be the notes from, gotta know the exact name. Actually, I have another tab open. Go up to the top. It's called Mini Lesson Signpost or Review. So that's what you're going to put here. You're going to put it in, as you know, quotation marks. That's how we do it in our class. Mini Lesson Signpost a Review. And you insert the picture here from your notebook. And that way I know that you actually copied and studied the notes. Now let's go back up to see what else we have to do. If we have to do anything else in that section. And remember, right now I'm teaching you in depth how to follow the actual playlist, or as it's called here, the to-do list, so that you know how to use it. But really the directions tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going individually so that way you guys have a good idea of what I'm expecting. All right, so then we know we're done with this row because the last thing to do in this row was the mini lesson signpost and review. Once you're done with that one, you can move on to the mini lesson. So basically, you finish this one, so it's a check mark, right? So let's move on to the next section. And now I know I have to do a mini lesson. So what am I going to do with a mini lesson? I can write mini lesson, go down here, and I'm going to write mini lesson. So now I'm moving on to a different section. So I can even do, if you want to make it very, very organized, you can write section 1, right? So that way we know that's from section 1. You can even color it, highlight the color. We can do orange for section 1 or yellow. And then here we're going to put section 2, right? And then we know that that section is going to be the mini lesson that we saw up there. And for our mini lesson, you go back up and you see what the mini lesson wants you to do. So the mini lesson is telling you to setting a purpose for reading. So it's going to take about 40 minutes of your time. And it says, for the mini lesson, you are about to read the text. The camera does lie. As you read, you will notice and note signposts that will give you clues about the author's ideas and purpose for writing. Students have previously been introduced to literary signposts during our book clubs and one informational signpost, word gaps. If you don't recall word gaps, look below. And this really helps us, especially if we're trying to figure out what that means. This picture gives us an idea. So it's really, really good for English, if English is our second language. So word gaps sign is right here, and it tells you, okay, so if I'm looking for any word gaps, I need to ask myself these questions. Do I know this word from someplace else? Does it seem like a technical talk for this topic? Can I find clues in the sentence to help me understand the word? Sometimes that happens. You come across a word when you're reading and you don't exactly know the definition, or when you find the definition, it doesn't seem like it's connecting to anything that you already previously know. So that's what word gaps is. And when that happens, you really want to look at the context of the reading to see if you can find what the definition is or have an idea based on the context. All right, so when you click on the camera doesn't lie, you actually get to go straight to the text. The camera does lie text is right here. And as you can see, it tells you the camera does lie, article by Meg Moss. You read the background. The camera doesn't lie is an old saying from the time when photos were shot on film and were hard to alter. Digital technology has changed all that, and altered images can be posted online and go viral in a few hours. The author of this magazine article, Meg Moss, writes on a variety of topics, and she especially enjoys making complicated topics easy to understand. Here she shares information to help readers understand why we can't always believe what we see. And that's happening a lot right now. So we want to make a connection. We think about the stuff that we're seeing about, the coronavirus. There's a lot of misinformation that goes out there and pictures that people can alter to make us think differently about what's actually happening. I know today I actually saw a picture that went viral that shows some mannequins